Right, here we go. Evening, gents, and welcome back to All Stars. Wednesday evening, as usual. And tonight we're at game week 16. Just have a quick look at the fixtures and league table in a second before we kick off. I'm pleased and delighted to tell you that I've been joined by the Wanganui manager, Mr. Savage. Good evening, Mike. How are you?
Good evening. Yeah, all good, you?
Yeah, good, thank you. Great to have you back on comms. So it seems some time since I heard that voice of yours. So yeah, great to have you back.
Yeah, it's been a while. Yeah, it's been a good while.
So just having a quick look at the league table, and the first thing that jumps out to me when I look at your team is you've not drawn a game all season. And you've lost,
No,
and you've lost.
notice that.
You've lost 10 out of 15, but still, you're not rooted to the bottom. I mean, it's tight down there, just as it is at the top. And considering we're 15 weeks in, I think that, it's still relatively well grouped together. There's a risk of the guys, I guess, sort of 11th down getting pulled adrift if they don't pick up some wins. But nobody's certainly out of the top six race yet.
No, definitely not. I mean, it's always pretty close anyway, isn't it? But I think now onwards is when you really start seeing the gap increase. Really.
Yeah, I think you're right. Into the last 10 games, and then we've got transfer window open. So I'll process transfers after this game, and then after the next game as well. Any deals that are done in between now and Sunday, and then that'll be it then until the start of next season. So we've got Withers, we've got Daz with us, we've got Liam. I'm sure there's a few other guys lurking in the background. Just bear with me one second. I have a feeling we have been joined. I have a feeling we have been joined by our second co-coms of the night. I think he's on mute, but I think Rox has joined us as well. Evening, mate. How are you?
He did say something about his dog's nuts in the message there, so I don't know.
Okay.
He might have to explain himself a bit when he does join in.
Anyway, delighted to say that Rox has joined us as well. So that's good fun. Not heard from Rox in a long time either. So, Mike, me and you are playing in a couple of days because Warriors, and I've just played it through now, have played in the Oceania Cup final. I don't know if it'll show it on there, but we'll see after. I think we won 6-0. Anyway, regardless of that, we're playing in a few games in a few days. So this is the fixtures tonight. Any that stand out or anywhere you fancy starting?
I don't think there's been any requests, is there? So I think just like the game choose.
Yeah, I've had a couple of messages from people saying they won't be here tonight. Dan's playing hockey. I think Jens said he's busy too. And Hodges playing darts. So yeah, we'll just kind of go with the flow. And it's
you might want to leave Vikings and Vanuatu to last. That's probably the big one of the night, isn't it?
Yeah. So we will start with Bush Rats because that's where we're at. Now a few more boys in the chat now. Duggan's here and Tato as well. Very complimentary of the co-coms duo, which is fantastic. Rox, just give us a nod when you are here, mate, and we'll get a little chat with you.
What's happening?
But first, Hey. How's things?
Not bad, mate. How are you?
Yeah, it's really good to hear you, mate. Really good to have you back on. Just been having a quick chat with Mike about how his season's going. How do you assess your start?
I really like my team. Look, it's not about what position you fit. The way I see it, see the Premier League. The team you want to support is Fulham, right? Because they have no expectations of anything. They don't. I'm not even sure Fulham fans like their team. But they go to the football, they have a bit of a laugh. That's what my team is right now. I am the Fulham of this league, and I'm totally happy with that.
You know what? You kind of get the sense, from my perspective, you can kind of get the sense that you're happy with your team because you don't do a lot of fucking about and tinkering, or even a lot of transfer business, and that may come down to the fact that you don't have time or you can't be asked. But I kind of get the sense that you've got a lot of the guys in there that you like. You've picked a formation that you think can do well, and you're just not going to veer away from it.
I made a bit of an arse of the first 8-9 games by keeping that other formation, and then since I've changed the 3 up front, it's been way better. It's like it was going to work with one or the other, and it's doing okay. Like, it's been better the past 6-7 games, so yeah, I'm happy.
Yeah, and there's a bit of a gap between the top and the bottom now, but generally it's relatively competitive. But every single game seems to be like it could go either way. There's teams that are top, the teams at the top, teams at the bottom, and you still can't pick an outright favourite depending on who's playing who, which is, I guess, why it makes it so interesting. Right. First up, we're going to go to the Bush Rats. So this is Tato's new, old, revisited tactic file, renamed the Bush Rats Desperation. Pretty standard formation for Tato and a lot of the guys in Champ. Rox, what do you think to the 11?
It's all right. I think he's a centre back short.
Yeah, I think he's got one
better centre back. I think
he's got Maldini's been exceptional this season. For season 3, Maldini's been exceptional. But yeah, I think he would probably like somebody stronger in there. But and he's done a lot in the market to try and sort of cover that area. But I don't think he had a great deal to work with, so had to sort of sacrifice centre backs to strengthen elsewhere. So Chris Perry's going to debut tonight for him, and then over at the Unicorns, who have started well and are joint top on goal difference. Savage, very similar tactic. That front three have been fantastic, and just your assessment of Unicorns.
Yeah, it's like I think it's like the real world Leicester, isn't it? It's always just feels like it's overachieving. And I don't think that's because of the players. Like, it's a really good side, but it just seems like every time Smuts does well, it's like Smuts is overachieving. He's doing a Leicester. Yeah. But yeah, it's a nice team though. But Mackay's underrated. I told Daz not to sell him, and he went and sold him about half an hour later. But
yeah, I think Daz, like a few of us have done in the past, just get a little bit giddy when there's transfers available. But yeah, Mackay is definitely somebody who's become quite reliable across numerous competitive champ saves. Beckham in there as well over the course of the season is probably going to get you plenty of assists. That front three again, Brugink is hit and miss. I don't think you had a great deal of joy of him, did you, Rox?
No, he was decent for me actually. He was pretty handy. I can't remember who I swapped him for. But it was kind of a deal.
Oh yeah, last season actually he did well last season. He got
for an AMC. I've just given up on AMCs. They're bullshit.
Right, let's get this one underway, and we'll try and get through these games as quickly as we can. And it's Alan Smith who's opened the scoring 5 minutes in for Bush Rats. Been really good on this save. Was very good for me last season. I think he got a couple of goals in last season's final as well. Mackay with a chance.
I'll be back in a minute. Sorry, I need to go and throw one of my dogs in the Clyde.
And it is Mpenza, who is the 3rd or 4th striker now to hit 10 goals this season. Levels on the stroke of half time. Really even game in terms of chances. 4 attempts apiece. Alan Smith with the goal, Giggs with the assist, who's really woke up this season and starting to repay Tato's faith in him. And yet, as mentioned previously, David Beckham picks up the assist for Mpenza, who is having a really good season. Petrov not having a great game, but Mike relatively even first half. Do you expect either manager to do anything?
Yeah, very even. No, I don't think there's any reason for him to change anything at this stage. There's nothing you could pick out as being underperforming. Maybe, I'm not a huge fan of Brugink, and he's not doing an awful lot there, is he? So
No,
might be something to watch, but nothing at this point. I wouldn't have thought.
Yeah, I don't. He's not a personal favourite of mine either. To be honest, some people like him, some people don't. He's been good for some, and not for others. I guess we sort of take our preferences based on past experiences with relevant players. So I've not seen Smoke, so give him another few seconds before we run it to 60. I wouldn't expect him to do anything anyway. We'll run it on to 60 minutes. Beckham into the book early in the second half. Feels really even, end-to-end sort of contest, and we get towards 60 minutes. And we've got 2 or 3 attempts since the break for either side. Quite a lively end-to-end game. Quick look at the Unicorns first. A few sixes in there. Scally's doing a really good job in midfield. And yeah, you want your key winger to be getting assists. You want your striker to be scoring. So, I think from Unicorns' point of view, pretty handy.
Yeah, I think I always like to see Scally doing well.
Unlike Mr. Peterson.
Yeah.
Cross at Bushrats, really good performance. Lots of 8s in there. We've got Lee Pure on a 6, but probably not been involved too much. But Bartes doing a really good job. Giggs as well into the book. I'm not sure that Tater will change anything. I don't think it's worth Boateng for Lee Pure, so I think he'll be happy, and he is. We'll just give Smuts 10 seconds to make sure he's not going to make an appearance, and then we'll run this one on. Okay, we will get this one underway. Still plenty of text, plenty of action. 20 minutes to go. Vieira with a couple of chances. Feels more Bushrats now, and there is potentially a winning goal from Alan Smith with his second of the game into the last 5 minutes. Stoppage time, and Penza with a late chance, but it is Bushrats who see the game through 2-1 and pick up a really important victory. 10 chances apiece, 8 on target for one, 7 for the other, and I think that just goes to show exactly how sort of even and competitive this league is. 2 good sides on paper, similar formations, one at the top, one near the bottom, and literally anybody can beat anybody. Roxy, you back with us? No, okay. Elefropoulos did a decent job in goal, but unfortunately did concede twice. Skelly had a good game towards, throughout. Alan Smith picks up man of the match, 2 assists for Giggs, which will delight Tato, and a strike partner for Vieira getting the goals. Is really good to see. Good first game of the night. Bushrats 2, Unicorns 1. We'll leave Vikings a little bit just in case Jens is not here. Who is Hodgie playing? Hodgie's not here. He's playing Rox. Rox, are you back? No, we will leave that one then just in case. Kitchen Dan's not here, and he's playing Aborigines and Daz, so he is here. So we'll go there next. I think it was an as-is, which is usually the case for Kitchen Dan. Mike, what do you think to Dan's side?
I used to be able to say I like the keeper, but I've had a big falling out with him, so keeper's dog shit. But I do like Kivu, Paredes, Jax. Elba's one of them that's always intrigued me. He is on sort of a list of ones I want to give a bit of a run out.
Yeah, I think he's a solid option from the start when we draft. I think if you were to draft Elba as your first choice striker, you'd be doing okay. I think he's got a bit of a tendency to drop off a little bit, but he's only 31 and his stats look incredible. Dan's had him twice. I think when I was chatting to him in the last transfer window, he was a little bit frustrated that he let him go so soon, but he's pleased to have him back. And yeah, Dan's not one to tinker. He knows his best team and he sticks with it. And Daz, who on the flip side of that does tend to tinker a fair bit, has moved Ambrosini back into the DM line. Raul, Tomadera, and what do you think to Santa Cruz at attacking midfield?
Not for me, but
I think you've done okay. Chipped in with a few goals.
Sorry. Yeah, but what's the game about if not trying new stuff out?
Yeah, absolutely, completely agree. Are you back with us, Rocks?
Yeah, until the dog decides to go fucking nuts again, probably.
Right, Aborigines versus Hobart. So Daz is with us. KD's left instructions that says, unless my keeper's having a howler, run it through. He's generally not one to tinker, but we've got Tomadera on the score sheet early doors, putting Aborigines 1 up. Kivu with the equaliser for the away team. It's on. 20 minutes went by with not a great deal happening as we approach half time. And we get to half time, 1 apiece. Just the 1 attempt from Aborigines in the second minute that went in. And pretty much all Hobart from there. Quick look over at the stats. Simkoviak picks up the assist. He's on an 8. Kivu with the goal. 7s and 6s throughout. But damn, if he was here, he wouldn't be doing anything anyway. He's not one to tinker too much. Over at Daz's, the talking point pre-match was Santa Cruz at AMC. Yeah. He's not doing a great deal. Rox, what's your thoughts on Santa Cruz?
I think he's like a few strikers on the game that if you actually just leave him leave him at Bayern or leave him where he starts for 2 or 3 years, he's well worth a buy. But actually, I think drafting him in general is a bit like, what's his name, Romeo and stuff like that. They're better not. They develop better away. And playing him at AMC's, like, you know what? Fair play for trying it. What's he going to do? Bring on Luca Toni to play there? That'd be a giggle.
Yeah.
Battering around the AMC.
I think you're right. There's a lot of strikers that can develop incredibly well, and they're kind of the guys that get drafted as second or third choice and don't get any game time. And when you think that they're probably ready going into season 3 or 4, they've not actually played, and it's like they're a season 1 player.
Yeah.
We've got a roll from Daz, so we'll get this on to 60 minutes. Tato thinks someone's eating a Twix. A little bit of rustling going on in the background. Jack's involved. Hobart pushing at the start of the second half, and it is Albert, also discussed pre-match, who has got the second goal for the away side, put them 2-1 ahead, and it's all been Hobart since the second minute. Really strong performance. Rocks, Mike was saying that he's really intrigued about Albert and somebody really wants to try. Have you had much experience with him?
He's decent. He's handy. Like, there's a lot. There's kind of you get your best. There's probably 4 or 5 strikers that everyone wants to get, and then there's probably 15 to 20 that you can kind of interchange. And I think he's probably one of the better ones out of that.
Yeah, I think I would agree completely. Simkoviak impressing with a couple of assists from right hand side. Over at Aborigines, Santa Cruz still on a 5. He's not involved at all. You would expect Daz to mix something up here. Dimble's joined us. Hi, Dims. So we're going to have a tweak from Daz. Roll to AMC. Replace Cruz with Tony. And Rox, you've had Raul as well in this save, have you not?
Yeah, I think I had him in Brugink last year playing in AMC, and like Raul, he's been brilliant for me in Super League, but he's just not quite done it in this one.
Yeah, Raul's actually on his way to me after this game. The plan is to part. Tomadera's leveled with 12 minutes to go. The plan is to play him alongside Ronaldinho in a 2 behind Crespo. So we'll see how that plans out. Is there any late winner for either side? Luca Toni with a great chance, but it does finish level. Feels like a bit of a smash and grab point for Aborigines. Did come into it a little bit more in the second half after the 60-minute mark. It was all kind of Hobart from the second minute right through to that break. Clearly Santa Cruz coming off was a good move. Raul picked up an assist, as did Ambrosini. And over at Hobart, Sinkoviak picks up a 10. So a couple of assists out on the right-hand side, a couple of sixes in there. But a question for Rox. I know the majority of players in this game fuck you right off. Are there any that you'd never have a bad word to said against?
Trying to think of it. To be honest, the closest one's probably the closest one's probably Juan Gomez. Just so consistent, like genuinely. Yeah. And the thing is, like, people will draft him up the list and stuff now. Like, he's phenomenal. Like, he's just constant 8s and like he's just solid.
Yeah, I think I agree that you know, early doors you kind of get the big 4, 5, 6 DMCs drafted in the first couple of rounds, but I definitely think there's a group of DMCs in that sort of bracket below the exceptional ones that are very good, that can do just as good a job in terms of tackles per game and high average ratings. Duggan thought that his money would have been on you saying Michelini or Schmuck.
To be fair, actually, probably Chaos. Although I've got irrationally angry at the fact that fucking Jens has got him in this save. But
yeah, Tato's
to be honest, Chaos, I've never had a bad Chaos. Like, he's ridiculously good. I'm pretty sure if we drafted again now, he would go in the first 4 rounds.
You think?
I'm pretty convinced.
I think I would say that in the first 4 rounds, you would expect everybody to draft a DMC in the first 4 picks. So would you think he's in the best 14 DMCs or most popular 14? I guess.
100%. Yeah.
Right, we've got Dragons up next. Little tactical tweak. Comes back in for Constantin, who dropped back alongside Omri in the bird formation, as Duggan likes to refer to it as Paddy Cliver up front. Across the way at Tutavua, we've got Vrede and Campbell at the back. I think they've got West still out. Either that or they've just left him out. I can't remember which. Viduka, who's done well since coming in, partners Van Nistelrooy and Lundberg, keeps his place at AMC despite Adilson and Saviola on the bench. So we'll kick this one off and see how it plans out. I think I've seen a couple of more deals go through this afternoon involving Tutavua. Got a feeling they might be switching it up to wing backs, as I'm sure they've just signed Serginho and Contra. "30 minutes in, relatively even. It looks like we're going to get to the break at nils each, which we do. 3 attempts, Dragons, all on target, just a one-off target for Tutavua. Overmars on a 5. I'm pretty sure he had a really good game last time. And Mike, a few players in there that probably don't get as much first-team competitive champ action as in other saves. Talking the likes of kind of Overmars and Lundberg, who've been kind of key players for the last 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, like Ljungberg. I had him quite a few seasons ago. Never got anything out of him. Just an absolute nothing player. But again, you know, you play with what you've got, don't you? I suppose.
You do. You do indeed. Right, we're going to see Overmars dragged off for Adilson Lundberg's going to go out wide, Dilson into the AMC position, and as is from Duggan, Thuram having a decent game at the back. But yeah, all square as we head into the second half. And wow, nothing at all happened from 45 minutes to 68 minutes. So, well, we've got an off target attempt from the Dragons, but we'll go straight back to the guys to see what they're going to do and try and make a difference in the last 20 minutes.
You thought probably Viduka, wouldn't you? Maybe.
Saviola and Van Nistelrooy have been exceptional on this save as a pair. So and I get that Viduka's coming and done well, but I'm quite surprised to see Saviola drop out over the last couple of games. Quick look at Dragons, and it is going to be Saviola for Viduka. Rox is offering his dog in the WhatsApp.
Just a bit lackluster up there, isn't it? From Dragons, it's a bit surprising.
Yeah, we'll pop back on and have another look. Just make that change. Yeah, plenty of sixes in there. Jeremy's as always doing a great job. Thuram still at the back. We are going to get changes for Duggan as he goes in search of 3 points.
When you look at that three there, Thuram, Stam, and Jeremy's, it's just I'm not sure you could do much better than that.
Yeah, I mean, I agree to some extent. In terms of like players' reputation, attributes, I'm not a personal fan of Thuram. I think I don't know, I just can't get on with him. Wellens for Liverani, give him a mini diag like that. Oh, no, not like that. Like that. Just give us a thumbs up, Doug, just to make sure that's all good. There's 3 class DMCs shutting them down, to be fair, Sav. Yeah, they have got an incredibly strong DMC line. I've not seen anything more come through. Oh, we did Saviola for Viduka. And we have done Duggan, so we will play this one on to a conclusion. I feel like there's a goal in this game. Not sure which way it comes, but we've got 15 minutes to get it. And Nistelrooy comes close. And we're into added time. It's going to be a goal. It's going to be incredibly late. And Saviola a chance. Late corner. If Horse isn't here and I've not played yet, can you leave me till later? I'll be home in 20. Smuts, unfortunately, you've already played. You were first up, I think. Were you first up? You were first up and you lost 2-1 to Bushrats. That concludes game 3. Dragons 0, 2-0. Not the worst 0-0 we've ever seen. 10 attempts between the two sides. Much better ratings from 2-2 than you would think. Sol Campbell, man of the match, really solid DMC line. Ortega and Van Nistelrooy doing well. Saviola from the bench as well. 2 key passes in 20 minutes. Try to create plenty. Over at the Dragons, solid defensive display with those plays that you picked out, Mike, Stam, Thuram, Jeremy's. But just the forward players not really getting involved and creating a great deal. And as Duggan said, probably shut out by that strong DMC unit of 2-2.
Yeah, that's it. It's just done the job.
Rox, are you with us? I think probably not then. So we'll just hold his game for now and we'll go across to Dimble versus Rob. Rob said he's not going to be at a laptop till 10. I don't think I've seen him in the chat, but we will get this game underway. This is how Blitz line up. Mike, ever reliable and consistent is Dimble.
Yeah, strong team in it as well. But yeah, he's just a bit samey for me, but it does the job, doesn't it?
Yeah, it is reliable, I guess, and I guess that's why people use the formation. Really strong squad. Got players like Del Piero, Ronaldo, Echevarria, that can't even get a look in. Hence why Dimble is right in the mix. And Rob has just swapped out Materazzi for Kufre, who is suspended. So we'll get this one underway. And Oliver Kahn is booked for giving away a penalty. Mendy has had it saved, but Tonton Makoko has buried the rebound to put Blitz 1-0 up. I thought we were going to see red for Kahn then when I saw a penalty. Did you?
Yeah, it was about right, wasn't it?
Kahn has been, in the most part, exceptional for Rob this season, but then has thrown in the occasional howler. The odd 5 here and there, giving away the odd penalty. Dominant from Blitz in the first half, 8 attempts, 5 on target. Not a great deal back from Rapa Nui. And that's kind of reflected in the ratings, which is predominantly 6s, with the exception of Kahn, who saved the penalty but couldn't keep out the rebound. Over at Blitz, not sure. It looks like the penalty was probably for a handball because we've got no assist. But young Tonton, who's developing well and is in the side, puts Blitz 1-0 up. And Dimble's going to roll, and Rob's not with us, so we will go to 60. Stop it there to avoid. And just as we get to the break, Guerrero, who is probably one of the top 3 players you would associate with Rob Slough, has levelled. Much better since half-time from Rapa Nui. And yeah, Guerrero has levelled on the stroke of 60 minutes.
It's still on the rated of 6 as well. The ratings are still really low.
I think the goal went in right on the click, so those ratings might jump up once we resume the game. But somebody that Rob put a lot of faith and trust in generally ends up with Rob at most teams in most saves. But really, still really decent performance from Blitz. 7s and 8s across the board. Mendieta down on 78 fitness. I don't think will concern Dimble, but we might see Del Piero or Kuhl. He might stick with it.
Yeah, Collision is down there as well, until on 79. Not doing an awful lot, is it?
Yeah, I didn't even notice that, if I'm completely honest. But we're going to see Taneto off for Kuhl. Oh, let me just... Taneto for Kuhl. Who's going to go to AMC? Central of DMCs, no arrows is what Dimble normally does at this point. AMCs, just give us a quick thumbs up, Dimble, and make sure that that's what you want. Perfect. So we will play this one through. How's Tonton been doing in general, given he's had a run? I think he got a goal or an assist recently in the last game, maybe the one before. But he looks really well developed in terms of his stats. Romashenko, against the run of play, has put Rapa Nui 2-1 up with only 10 minutes left. And this could be a shock on the cards. As we sort of mentioned, that anyone can beat anybody. That is the perfect example of it, because if you were going to say that there's a home banker, you'd probably put it on Blitz to beat Rapa Nui. But no, 2-1 to the away side. And actually, their second half performance was exceptional, because I'm pretty sure Blitz had eight shots at half time to nothing from Rapa Nui, and complete role reversal in the second half, Mike.
Yeah, completely. But again, to individual player scores, some of them, we've still got plenty there in on a 6, but they've pulled it out of the bag, haven't they?
Yeah, Candela, who's been really good for Robin this save with a 6. D'Alessandro and Brozek. Mark Kerr picks up man of the match. Rox, are you back with us?
Aye.
Do you like Mark Kerr?
more than I used to. He's Andy. I really like Rob's side, actually. Looking at that, that's probably as good a side as he's ever had.
It's definitely up there. And what he's done is he's tinkered a fair bit with his tactic file, but he's generally using the same 12 to 15 players. So they're all kind of developing. And he's doing okay. And that's a really impressive win for him. Over at Blitz, to be on the losing side with nobody below a 7 is unfortunate. But yeah, complete role reversal in the second half. And fair play to Rob, who wasn't here to witness it. So I think that takes us to, we've got 2 games left. So we're going to do you now, Rox, and you are against Hodges Townville. Mike, what do you think of Hodges' side?
Yeah, it's a good side, isn't it? I see. Did he trade Nesta out for? Nesta was here, weren't he?
Nesta was there. He went for I don't know if it was for Montero. I think it was a double deal. I can't remember.
Montero and Davids for Nesta and someone, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's right. It was. Who was the DMC that went out? I can't remember. But yeah, that was the deal. I think Hodgie wanted Davids in, and generally a like for like centre back swap. Montero's brilliant on his day.
Yeah, Montero is good.
He just misses 3 or 4 games a season at least through suspension.
Yeah, I traded him out, and somebody were asking in the chat, what transfers do you regret this year? And he's probably the main one that I regret, to be honest.
Yeah. And Rox, do you know what? I really like your squad. I like a lot about it. I really like Bobby Paragon. I've used him a lot over the last 12 months. And yeah, there's a lot to like in there. Cannavaro's been good. Sorochinsky at centre back, is that because you've got somebody out, or is that through choice?
No, he's been decent, I think. I was messing about. I was trying to work out where to play him, but he's done a job there. And because he's either footed, you can play him on that left side, and
yeah.
Like
Tato's just questioning why you've got a centre back in midfield and Sorochinsky at the back. I think
he can away and take his face for a shite.
Yeah, I think he correct me if I'm wrong, but he didn't want to upset Sorochinsky at the back, and Radoy is just slotted into the gap.
Radoy looks really handy, but I always like him more as a DMC than a centre back. Yeah. Even though he's not a DMC on that, but yeah.
He's got incredibly high potential and usually develops quite well. But I mean, I've only ever played him at centre back, naturally with him being a centre back. But be interesting.
Normally,
I
see him as a DDMC.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Anyway, Townsville versus AFC. 22 minutes goes by with nothing going on. Yeah, I think the key attributes for a centre-back and DMC are very similar. Tato pointing out a lot of centre-backs could play DMC. I think anybody with high positioning and tackling could do a good job in both positions. Heading towards half-time in a relatively even game, but as I say that, the main man we've been discussing, Sorochinsky from centre-back, has put you 1-0 ahead on the stroke of half-time, Rox.
Oh, well, if he'd been playing in DMC, he wouldn't have been there to score that.
And Baumer from the left has picked up the assist. Yeah, I mean, even game. Andre doing okay again. A few sixes in there, but it was close. You've nicked one just before the break, but kind of the ratings, reflect the game, I think, and that's kind of mirrored over at Townsville, who've got 7s and 6s across the board. Hodges said he's away playing darts tonight, so he's not going to be with us. I'm not going to do anything on his behalf. So just over to you, Rox.
Yeah, can you bring up my team? I'm going to make a couple of changes. Bring on Schmuck for Radoy and then swap him with Bowyer. Down at the bottom. the logical place. Yeah.
Yeah.
And get Jimenez on for Palermo, who is up for sale.
He's been up for sale every transfer window since I can remember that.
He's been fucking shit.
Hodgie is lurking in the background, so he's either in the pub playing darts, watching the stream, or he's back, one or the other. But yeah, he is going to roll, so we'll go to 60. Bobby Paragon is injured, so it's going to have to be
bring on Petkov and stick Schmuck up front.
Yeah, and leave him there. Swap back with Bowyer, or
nah, just go with that.
Okay. Schmuck up front. Hodgie's already lost hard lines, my friend. And we're going to get towards 60 minutes. We'll stop it there. 3 attempts, nothing on target from Townsville. All the goal-mouth action coming down at the other end. You've got no subs left, Rocks, so I'll just show you how you guys are doing.
For me.
Yeah, Baumer with the assist on an 8, 7s and 6s for everybody else. So we'll go across to Hodgie. Got Amoroso, Alex, and Van Bronckhorst. Mike, what would you do if you were Hodgie?
I think it's that gap in AMC at right dead centre. That's what seems to really stick out. Either if I'm all running forward, yeah, maybe just that. Maybe just an arrow on Imar, just fill in the gap a little bit. But that's what seems to be glaring.
Yeah. We're going to see Alex come on for Killigan Gonzalez out on the left. And that looks like it's it from Hodgie. So, last 30 minutes. Penalty turned down for Townsville, and it feels like they are the side pushing on into this last half an hour. But we're into the last 10 minutes. And into stoppage time, if there's a late goal, it's going to be a killer.
Get a win, you cunt.
And we get there. And Rox is over the line. 1-0 win.
Is that the bottom 3 or 1 tonight?
I think it could well be. Bushrats won. AFC have won. Rapanui have won. And Wanganui are yet to play. So yeah, big pressure on you, Mr. Savage. Plenty more in that last half an hour for Townsville, but unfortunately couldn't get over the line. Mendes de Silva's been exceptional on this save, picks up another 8. Tristan did okay. Taibbi doing a decent job in goal for Hodgie. Baumer picks up man of the match. Nothing else really to shout about there, Rocks, to be honest, is that there's 6s and 7s everywhere. There's not a great deal of passing or touches on the ball going on, but the all-important score is 1-0.
I will absolutely take that. Well played, RG.
Indeed. And last game before we get on to Warriors Wanganui is Vikings and Vanuatu. Jens, I think, is still not with us. Jens changes very, very little. Tudor's in for Charlie Chaos, who has a knock. He didn't name another substitute. He just said to swap them over. So Charlie Chaos is on the bench. And over at Steve's team, who started like an absolute train. Mike, what do you think of Steve's team formation setup?
Yeah, I like it. I really like it. The 5 across the middle. It's really, really difficult to break down. It's got some quality in there as well. So
I'm a big believer that if you've got an exceptional defensive midfielder, you don't need 2 or 3 in there. 1 is plenty.
Absolutely.
Vigo's been exceptional, picking up assists, and Montella has started scoring goals, which is a dangerous mix. So we will kick this one off. Vikings Vanuatu. And we've skipped through from 11 minutes to 40 with nothing happening. Tight game, 2 really strong sides towards the top of the table. And that was a punch from Nicky Ferenko on, I think, Gattuso. Is going to see Steve down to 10 men for the second half and a few seconds. I think the obvious choice is probably just to move one of them centre mids forward into the gap. Rocks, would you? he's going to leave it exactly as it is. So Rui Costa gets a little bit more freedom in there. As we get to half time, we'll just see if Steve wants to do anything at half time. Quick look at the ratings. No shots on target in the first half, really quiet, not a lot of action, so the sort of ratings and numbers reflect that. Nesta doing a solid job, as he always does. Over at Vanuatu, Rio Ferdinand struggling. I don't think Rio Ferdinand is an elite centre-back on this game. What are your thoughts?
I've never had him to try, to be honest.
I see far too many 5s and 6s from him. I've never seen him putting in a lot of tackles or up there in the averages for centre-backs. I think he's
had a really good version of him at one point at Haggis. Right. He was brilliant at Haggis one year.
Mm-hmm.
But he's not anyone that I would ever go out my way to sign.
Yeah. I would rather choose somebody with the likes of kind of Okoronkwo and that sort of level, who would just feel a little bit more consistent for me. So Steve's running through to 60 minutes. We've seen a lot of red cards this season, and a lot of the time, the team down to 10 have not really been struggling off the back of that. And as we say that, Montella, for the second time tonight, a striker's hit double figures for the season. And this time it's Montella. Earlier on, it was Mpenza. And Vanuatu, the league leaders, I believe, or it may be the Unicorns, but looks like they're going to be heading back to the top. Assists come from Klomper. Montella's open the scoring. Steve saying that
look at them tackling stats from Klomp, though.
Yeah, that's incredible. Nine tackles, 8 key. But if you look, he's having to make the tackles because these guys in here, that's unheard of from Ndai. To miss 6 out of his 7 tackles and on a 6, you don't see that very often. Over at the Vikings, Nesta doing his best to match Klompe at the other end. But he's just not getting Maxim involved. And then forward players, Veron, Nedved, who's been so good for Vikings, struggling a little bit against that fire across the middle.
Baza as well. You don't normally see a 5 from Big Baz either.
You would think that's down to the fact that he's not attempted a tackle or a header, and he just looks like the game's passing him by. Yeah, so Steve's going to put Gallardo on for Vodenkov and roll it. So we'll play this to a conclusion. And Gallardo involved from the bench into the last 10 minutes or so. Is Cesarco going to get that chance? He's not. And that's really, really impressive away win for Vanuatu. Played half the game with 10 men and restricted Vikings to practically nothing, not a single shot on target, and a complete shutout from Vanuatu, courtesy of Tima Klomp, who picked up an assist and tackled for days.
It's like I said before the game. If that midfield 5 clicks in a game, there's just no getting past it.
I think I've noticed quite a few times actually the sides playing against Steve have been limited to very little, and that's probably down to that 5 across the middle. Nesta did well. Apart from that, Vikings just didn't really get going. Maxim didn't have a shot. 2 attempts off target from Nedved, but one that Jens won't worry too much about. You'd think he'd probably just write that one off.
Yeah, you've got to, haven't you?
So, yeah, Warriors did play in the Oceania final and won 6-0, and I wouldn't normally be asked, but I just show you that Lezrazu picked up a hat-trick. So we will just click this one through to the Wednesday. I'll deal with all the 10 days for Paragon Rocks. I'll deal with all the news and stuff before I do the pack. I'll just have to pick my team before we go.
I'm going to need to dive off now because the dog's still going nuts. So
no worries, Rox. Thank you very much for joining us. It's been
see you later.
A pleasure to hear from you. And speak to you soon.
Cheers, good to talk to you, gents.
See you, mate. Mido coming under some criticism, being heavily backed by you, Mike.
He's not quite had the impact I hoped he would.
I mean, he's got 4 goals in 12. That's not terrible.
I've got too many AMCs.
And so this is how you line up. Just the change on the bench for you. Jeff Whiteley's come in for, was it Addo or Travza, who's injured?
Yeah, injury for Addo. Yeah.
Over at the Warriors, we got a suspension there. So just quickly pick my team. Finnan is going to play. Got Nahajek and Van der Vaart both out for a month apiece, which is not ideal. Fiore in midfield, Kovalchuk. We will go with Robin, Ronaldinho, Crispo, Harasimovic, Agahawa, Live, and no keeper for me on the bench by the looks of things, which is not ideal. So let's hope and pray that we don't get a red card. So all the best, Mike. Last game of the night.
Yep, guaranteed Robin's going to score now. So
Warriors. Robin is on his way out after this game. He's heading across to play for Daz for the rest of this season at the very least. Feels even. Chance for Mido there. Robin with a big chance, but he's kept out. We're heading to half time, looking like level. But no, it is the man of the moment, the guy under pressure from the media, backed by Mike, and he has put Wanganui 1-0 up. Not a classic in terms of chances. The text felt like there was a bit more going on than that. But yeah. Mido repays the favour. Assist from Zeraberto, who's been pretty decent recently.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to make any changes. There's nothing in there that's worth doing at 45. I don't
Jesus Christ, that's not pretty, is it? Okay.
A couple of dirty fives.
What can we do different? I'm going to change this shape a little bit. Robin is going to come off because he is fucking dire. Agahawa can go on. We'll swap them over.
Where's he going?
Agahawa and Robin are both going to Daz. Is that what you were asking?
Yeah.
Robin and Agahawa are both going to Daz, and I'm taking Raul and Hersa. So we'll play to 60 minutes. See if a change of shape for Warriors can have an impact. We've flown by. Jesus, this is not pretty at all. A couple of attempts for the Wanganui boys since the break. Pretty solid performance from you so far, Mike.
Yeah, sort of solid, if not a bit unspectacular.
I don't know if you've seen in the chat, but Mike, Steve Wright has asked, Mike, would you swap Addo for Lusanov?
Addo's too useful to me as the sub 2 covering D and DMC, to be honest.
Yeah, I think you are a big fan of Addo's. This is something.
I was after trading. Ideally, I think I was looking at trading Vogel out so I could play Addo a bit more regular, to be honest. But now it's come with that, yeah.
I'm not really sure what I'm doing here, to be honest. It's not been the best. Oh, Jesus Christ. Not been the best of days for us at the office. But we're going to go to a front three and see if that makes any difference. Anything for you, Mike?
Yeah, I think It's nothing. What's the conditions like?
We've got Totty on 79. Nobody else of note.
I think I'm just going to leave it. There's nothing. Yeah, there's nothing there that's going to. I'm not going to kick myself for making if I do.
Okay. Warriors are going to have to be incredibly improved in the last 20 minutes. They've been shite. How Fiore has levelled on his debut. He's actually also on his way out in a swap for Donny. We're getting towards the end of the game. Crespo with a chance on Fiore in the last minute has won it. Oh, he hasn't. Oh, he has. Jesus Christ, what drama. Wow. Jesus Christ. Couldn't keep up with what was going on at the end there. I thought we'd snatched it. It looked like Osmanowski had got an equaliser. That's been ruled out. And Warriors have found something with the tactical tweak. And yeah, put a few chances together. And unfortunately for you, Mike, you've been on the end of, champ, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of my season as it stands now, really, to be honest.
It felt like up till the changes at 60 that you were under no danger at all, well in control.
No, that's just it. This is how the games are going now. They have been for a bit.
And Fiore's picked up man of the match. Some of the ratings have improved. The forward players not at the races at all. There's no assists come there, so they've come from loose balls or ricochets or something. But unfortunately, we'll take it. We'd like to pick up the 3 points.
You've turned me over with sixes. Do you know what I mean? It's,
pair checks done well.
What can you do?
But yeah, tough one to take, but well played. And we move on. So this is how the table looks after that. We've got Vanuatu 3 points clear at the top, followed by Unicorns, Vikings and Warriors on 28. And then Blitz and Dragons make up the top 6 on 25. And then 3 points back, we've got Hobart and Townsville. Then Aborigines, Tuvua, Rapa Nui, Bushrats, AFC. And unfortunately for you, Mike, as results went against you, you are back to the bottom after tonight's games.
Still no draw, though. That'd have been shit if I got a draw.
Crazy that.
I'd rather have the loss. Rather have the loss and keep the 0 draw record on a roll.
Yeah. But yeah, it feels like you've been a little bit unfortunate this season at times.
It was the one at the back experiment.
Yeah.
It just wiped everybody's morale out, unfortunately.
So, quick look at the stats. Tomasi still top of the average ratings, along with Ndai. Top scorers is spicing up a little bit. Anelka still out on 12, Maxim on 11, and then we've got Mpenza, Montella, and Morientes all on 10. And then across at the assists, Figo on 7, Dallara and Giggs on 6. So yeah, that's where we're at. Quick look at next week's fixtures or next round's fixtures. Mike, you travel to Tuvua. I host Bushrats. Vanuatu Hobart looks a good game, as does AFC, who look like they could turn anybody over against Vikings. And you know what? There'll be 7 games. They'll all be competitive, as is the Jens is in. Wants to see the results. Here you go, Jens. Warriors have just snatched victory at Wanganui. This is earlier on. Vikings, to be honest, Jens, you look pretty toothless. Steve, went down to 10 men on 5 minutes, played the second half of 10. But that midfield 5 block of Steve's just completely shut you out. And yeah, that is you. Right, chaps, I'm gonna get away now. I will either do packs tonight or more than likely tomorrow. And we'll be back on Sunday with Daz. Thanks very much for your company. And I'll speak to you all soon. Cheers.
See you later.